MURI stands for Multidisciplinary University Research Initiative, which is a program supported by the Department of Defense, DoD. It is a 5-year project.
The MURI initiative is one initiative that takes expertise from different institutions around the nation and puts them together to try to advance our knowledge of how charged and neutral particles interact with one another.
Ionosphere and thermosphere are two overlapping regions above 100 kilometers altitude. It belongs to the space domain because in this region, both neutral species and plasma are very important.
Earth is a magnetized body, and it interacts with the wind that comes out of the sun, the solar wind, a stream of energetic particles. And they actually produce energy that will be deposited at high latitudes in the form of the aurora.
The aurora provides very important information. The aurora research contributes to understanding the structure and evolution of energy input from space. So the specification of that is very important to understand the dynamics in the upper atmosphere of the Earth.
The project actually has produced significant science breakthroughs with far-reaching consequences to the space science field. We have completed a robust description of mesoscale features from the observations like satellite observations.
AMPERE is an experiment that uses commercial communication spacecraft and their knowledge of their orientation in Earth's magnetic field to help us determine what kinds of fluctuations are going on in the magnetic field. And if there are large fluctuations, that means there's a lot of current and a lot of energy coming into the upper atmosphere, which is what the MURI studies. The actual real observations made by the communication satellites are just strength and orientation of the magnetic field, but with the help of the principal investigator, we're taking out the background field and just looking for the wiggles or the perturbations. And we have statistical techniques to put all of those together in a single map for every 2 minutes.
One major interest of DoD and Air Force is to improve the forecast of neutral and plasma densities in the upper atmosphere, which play critical roles for the satellite drag and high-frequency radio wave propagation. Specifically, UTA Group has improved the global ionosphere-thermosphere model GITM with local mesh refinement technique and developed a new model, Ashley, for the high-latitude electrodynamic forcing, and also applied deep learning models for TEC map reconstruction. And this project definitely made extensive use of computational resource at Texas Advanced Computing Center, TAC.
The Global Ultraviolet Imager is a copy of an imager that we built earlier for the Air Force, for the Defense Meteorological Satellite Program. And that sensor is called SUSI, S-S-U-S-I. The SS is special sensor, and so then they tacked on the USI for ultraviolet spectrographic imager. And so that's what we use, is this hyperspectral imager, and it operates in the far ultraviolet. And those are processes that are dominated by atomic transitions. And so we look at those because they're energetic photons. They tell us all about the fundamental processes that happen in the upper atmosphere.
Our contribution has been to extract the measurements from the DMSP satellites, interpret them in terms of the motion of the charged particles, and then to develop a model or a description of that motion that can be utilized in a bigger model that can impose the motion of those charged particles inside a mixture of charged and neutral particles.
So GPS is really a very powerful technique for space science observations. And we use GPS to measure total electron content, which is one of the fundamental ionospheric parameters. While GPS data have many applications for space science, our main effort has been to detect the so-called traveling ionospheric disturbances. So at MIT, we have been producing TEC since 2000. And since 2017, we are producing TID data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, globally. using these 6,000 receivers. So this data allow us to study the global picture of TID excitation and propagation with unprecedented details.
MURI actually offers a golden opportunity for us to solve a community challenge. The program offers us a chance to fundamentally improve our model and modeling capability. Again, this is very unique. It's very special as well.
It's the unpredictability of where you will go and the challenges that you have to solve along the way to get there. That's the challenge. And the pleasure of doing it with a bunch of other people that are similarly motivated makes it even more fun.